station.
Hyderabad Punjab Express Saiyami Station Netaji Bhogle. कृपया ध्यान दें.
Welcome back to Voltas. FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. The walls of the fortress are crumbling at the Chepauk. CSK not doing well at all, in all sorts of trouble. They were trying to soften that blow. We will get to that in more details, but we will shift focus on to the second game. Punjab take on RR. Punjab won the toss. They have decided to bowl first. I've got Lisa and Harsha with me. Before we get to the walls of the fortress, we want to talk about what's happening in the next game. Captain Sanju Samson is back. He lost the toss, but he said he would have liked to bat, so all's good.
Since the word fortress is now legal tender on this program.
Absolutely. So is momentum.
So is momentum. And so is number 4 with Vijay Shankar playing for Chennai. So number 4 is back in focus again. Punjab will want to make Mullanpur their fortress.
Yes.
And they didn't enjoy it there last year. But this year's Punjab bears little resemblance at the moment. It's only been 2 games. But it bears little resemblance to last year. But they will want to start winning here very quickly. So from Punjab's point of view, 2 things. Obviously, they want to win. Everyone wants to win. But Delhi would have, with that win, gone above them. So that is one. But also, they want to understand the conditions here very well and start well at home. It's not normally a ground that supports their kind of play. But if it can, if the tracks have are a little friendlier to batsmanship, those are the things they'll want to check out today.
Well, we'll have a look at Punjab's playing 11. Shreyas at the toss said that there were going to be no changes. Lisa, they've gone ahead. Why, fix something that ain't broken? So they've gone ahead with the same playing 11. Shreyas said the same thing, that we'd like to assess the conditions. It's a new venue, but it's a new team entirely. So he's seeming confident coming into the game.
Yeah, when you kind of come into a new side and you kind of bring in a new group of players, new coaching staff, everything, you want to hit the ground running. They've been able to do that. Now this is their next little hurdle to see, okay, how are we actually tracking? The great thing about this tournament is that there'll be a certain opposition, certain grounds, certain time of the tournament where you go, okay, let's just keep status checking if we're tracking in the right direction. This will be another important point in their tournament and how successful it will be. Can they read the conditions? And then can they select and can their players adapt accordingly?
Does it take a long time to do that? I mean, go back to your experience with the first WPL, when everyone was getting to know each other, you were with one of the sides. Does it take time? In this case, maybe a little easier because at least you know the players, but does that take a long time?
I think in terms of understanding each other's techniques and abilities and strengths and weaknesses, there'll be across that. Where at WPL, it was a bit of a not quite sure who all these domestic players, never seen them before. In the men's IPL, that's not the case now. But it's the characters and relationships and their role within their side. Who's going to take the new ball? Who's going to face the new ball? You know, who prefers to do that? You kind of get a gauge of what your team, you're playing 11, you're playing probably 12 to 13 are. And that takes a little bit of time.
It's not so much just the characters and relationships within the team, because I think the relationship with the pitch has been such a topic of discussion this IPL. So they'll want that relationship to go smoothly. We'll have a look at their impacts as well for Punjab. Punjab will be bowling first, so they will get Priyansh Arya in.
You'd imagine, because the others are largely bowling subs. Vishnu Vinod can be an aggressive batter, also keeper. But I don't think Priyansh Arya has already had one good innings. So almost certainly they'll go with him. As he said, they're not going to change the 11, so that'll be their batting 11.
Okay, let's have a look at Rajasthan's playing 11 quickly. Of course, the big news is that Captain Sanju Samson is back. We see the C next to him, but Yudhvir Singh Charak is in because Tushar Deshpande has a niggle, so he sits out. But of course, these are the big news. Is Riyan Parag, well, he got them to that win, but he's handed over the wheel back to the captain.
I wonder if it was after the first few games, even though he finally got a victory, he'd be like, Oh, thank goodness. Off you go, please. I'm done. I just want to bat. I just want to play my cricket. Or I wonder if it sparks something in him that he wants to get better. He wants to understand how it works. We'll know as time passes on. But good news for Royal fans is that their skipper is back and he'll just be so calm, cool and collected. You know, we've seen him do it so often with the bat in hand, but behind the stumps, getting the angles right, running the show, you'll feel like you're almost playing with a handbrake on without Sanju Samson there. Now you can let go of the handbrake and away you go.
Well, they've let go of the handbrake, and Sanju Samson said that, you know, he used to be very restless as well sitting out because he's someone who likes to be there in that action. So we'll see him completely in action today.
They'll get Samson back as captain. They wouldn't have missed him a lot as a keeper because I think Dhruv Jurel is a fantastic keeper. They wouldn't have missed him that much as a keeper. But it'll once again be, because there are new players in this team, just getting used to Samson, the captain, with 3 games with Riyan Parag as captain. So just get used to him. The good thing for their point of view is I think the batting order looks more settled. With Nitish Rana getting runs at 3, I always thought that was going to be the batting order anyway.
Yes.
But they wanted Parag to bat up the order at 3. I think we got most of his runs at 4. Rana at 3 is a good idea. So at least they've got that batting order sorted. Now, the only thing I want to see with the Rajasthan batting order is where Shimron Hetmyer bats.
Hasaranga at 5 again for you all?
Well, Shimron Hetmyer more than a handful of balls at least.
Yeah, please.
Because we've not understood why Hasaranga has been coming at 5. I see Lisa very upset there. But Lisa, do you have the answer to that?
No, I don't know the answer.
I thought you were going to say, but Lisa's always upset.
No. It doesn't make sense to me. I think Shimron Hetmyer, whilst he's not the same calibre of Nicholas Pooran, I think he's got the ability to potentially be. So give him a little bit more, or make sure that he's got a little bit more time. You know, we were talking about Nicholas Pooran's numbers, right? And coming down at 5, 6. But look at what he's been able to do at 3. So give this guy just a little bit more time, and you never know what they might unearth.
And he's done it before. So all I'd like to see is 5, 6, Jurel Hetmyer, make it tactical.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I've got
them,
no issues with
not
that.
at 8, 9. No.
No, but one thing they've got right is getting Rana at 3 because he likes playing at 3. We saw him the other day. He literally swept CSK off because he was just sweeping. I think every 4 or 5 balls he was
He
sweeping.
loves sweeping.
But just what a fantastic innings.
Of all the players who've played the IPL for a while, I think he likes playing the sweep shot more than anybody else. You know, you just close your eyes and you think of a batter and you think of a shot. You think of Nitish Rana, close your eyes, Nitish Rana, and you say sweep.
Yes.
And he sweeps both sides too. I mean, today nobody sweeps only one side anyway. So
Yeah, that's boring cricket.
yeah. As long as it's a reverse sweep, I don't mind. I don't like switch hits.
No, but again, for him to fire is going to be important. Even Yashasvi hasn't been firing, so that pressure was on him against CSK, but he likes the pressure, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does like the pressure. He's a big player. He's done that in previous franchises, so this is no different.
So Nitish Rana?
Nitish Rana.
Yeah, he's been captain of KKR
Yes.
at time, and he had a 450 run season for them. So yeah, he's a proper player. Also that year in KKR, he was like a proper mentor for Rinku Singh.
Absolutely.
It was like a bade bhaiya, chote bhaiya kind of big brother, younger brother relationship. So I think he's perfect at 3. It just mind is going somewhere else. As Pooran discovered himself at 3, I just wonder somewhere if Hetmyer can discover himself at 3 because he's being wasted down there anyway. But now that they found Rana, it's okay.
You know, you were talking about the Bade Bhaiya, Chote Bhaiya. I still remember that photograph. It became iconic when they hugged each other. That 5 6s that Rinku hit and then that hug. Today, it didn't happen quite like that for CSK. There was no hugging. There were no 5 6s. That match has come to an end. So we'll quickly have a look at what happened with CSK and their chase. Once again, CSK have managed to mess up a chase, and that fortress, like I said, crumbling. They did, Harsha, we were talking about softening the blow. That's what they did because Delhi won by 25 runs. Vijay Shankar, 4 lives he got those 69 in 54 and MS Dhoni 30 of 26.
Look, they lost by 25 runs. That's what the scorecard will tell you. They lost the game long before the 25 runs. What would bother CSK fans was I don't think there was a chase. There was a stroll. It wasn't a chase at all. At no point was it a chase. I'm just looking now. They've got 41 runs in their last 3 overs. 41 runs in 3 overs from overs 12, 13, 14 make a big difference.
yes.
So they're playing themselves in situations where the game is gone. And to some extent, the 41 of 3 overs are inconsequential runs unless they're winning matches and then the net run rate counts. I read a line from someone recently, Lisa, says everyone's talking about net run rates. What about the 2 points?
Yeah, they're forgetting that, aren't
You
they?
need the 2 points.
It's all right, everything comes in cyclical, right? Before everyone forgot about the net run rate and going hard and trying to win games or ensuring you got close. And now maybe people are forgetting about what do we need to do to win. You're right. But the problem is for Chennai is their opening partnership has not fired at all. So they're not even landing a punch to start with. So then they're thinking, okay, well, we don't want to get rolled over too much, so let's just slow down, let's just conserve, let's see if we can get wickets, and then let's see how close we can get. But you're right, at some point they're going to have to figure out, you've just got to go for the victory because you just never know. Like I liken it to some teams in club cricket, right? They play Division 2 and they come up to first grade, right? And they think it's average cricket, and if you bat out your 50 overs, good job. No. You're never going to learn how to win a game of cricket. So sometimes you have to fail miserably to figure out how to be able to attack the opposition and actually win. So I think they're getting to the point where I'd rather see them lose by a big margin than walking over the line, because you're right, at no point did I ever feel like they were going for the victory.
I mean, sometimes we sit here in a studio. I think sometimes we should all pretend that we are wearing fan jerseys. So I'm trying to say, okay, I'm wearing a CSK jersey just now. And I'm thinking, did I see intent? Did I see my team saying, as Lisa says, I don't mind losing by 60.
Let me show up.
But I might get close to the target and I might win. And I didn't see that against RCB. They lost a lot of wickets there. Here they hadn't even lost wickets. So as a fan, I'm starting to think, is my team pushing hard to win?
Yes.
No team goes out there not wanting to win. So don't get me wrong there. But did they push hard enough? I mean, I think when MS came into bat, it was 112 or 55 balls or something like that.
Which is so doable for someone.
But he was
like
10 or
MSD.
15.
Yes.
So you can't win with 10 or 15. They've done well to come to 25. But it doesn't matter as long as you don't get those 2 points. So there's something that CSK have to think about a lot in the days before their next game. Who is the person who's going to go there and play with that freedom and take us over? Shivam Dube was to play that role. But Shivam Dube gets 30s, 40s. I don't remember the last time Shivam Dube got an 85.
18 or 15 today yet again disappoints. But it's again, I want to talk about that, that fan, if you're wearing that CSK jersey and sitting and watching the game. It's been so many years where you've seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni come and win games for CSK. But this IPL, it almost feels like he's not come out with that intent. Like you said, Harsha, there was everything ready for him to come out. He had 10 overs when we were in the Combox, Lisa, but it just felt like he didn't come out to win. That's the major problem I feel fans are going to have.
There was a couple of times that I saw him actually where he tried to kind of slice, kind of open the face of the bat and try and get it through. And he got really frustrated. Now, again, I don't know what's going on in his mind. I can only imagine. I used to play tennis when I was younger at a higher level. And then when you don't play something for a while, you get out there. I know how competitive you are, right? And in your mind, you think you can still do things. But actually, you can't. And
the mind thinks it's doing it, the body doesn't follow.
Yes, and that's the most frustrating thing. And I've never seen too many times MS get frustrated. He's a poker face, right? But today I just saw a little bit of frustration because he didn't get it through. He didn't time it well. It was like, this doesn't happen to me. I come in these situations and I win the game and I find the boundary and I stitch together a really good partnership. So he's getting to that point, isn't it? And he's not playing any cricket. It's IPL and then IPL. So it's very hard, regardless of who you are, to be able to kind of hit the ground running and be able to be playing at your peak when you're playing once a year.
And it's not even just a year or two. It's not even just a year or two. It's been 5 years now. I mean, I saw great players like Haydos, like Gilly. I mean, Gilly is going to be coming here. He can talk to us about it when he comes. When you're not playing anything IPL to IPL, as Lisa said, your mind knows what to do, but you just haven't done it enough. And he's very fit, MS. From a keeping point of view, from a general body point of view, his keeping is probably still the best keeper in this league. But as a batter, it's looking like he's not able to play the shots that he wants.
You know, Lisa spoke about the frustration that Dhoni was frustrated, but as a fan, when you see Dhoni come out and struggle so much, it's really painful for any MSD fans to see this, because you're just used to seeing a certain level of MSD for so many years, and then you think he'll replicate that, and then
only one thing I will say in his favour is this wasn't the easiest track to come out and hit through the line. Because the ball was stopping and coming. It just shows how well the opposition batted. So this was not one of those tracks where you could just go in and hit every ball. That is the one thing you will say in MSD's favour. But he was pushing for singles. You would have thought he'd push hard for a 2, maybe try and knock a boundary somewhere. That wasn't happening. So it wasn't an easy surface to bat on. And what Lisa said is very valid, that it wasn't happening for him. So it's almost got to a stage now where the track that he's so nurtured on the tracks where he, as a captain, he was untouchable, is now coming back to make it difficult for him as a batter.
Well, it's been 15 years ago that Delhi beat CSK on this ground. It's taken them 15 years, but that batting card just didn't click today because the openers didn't click. Then we saw Vijay Shankar getting those runs. He took his time, got those runs, but really, Lisa, nothing to talk about in that batting card.
Nothing at all. That was...
Say that again. Say that again. You're getting there.
Yeah, nothing at all.
And the head moves as well.
But I keep talking about, I'll keep harping on it. The power play is so important.
Yes.
And we've heard Dhoni talk about, you know, when we're setting up the second innings, whoever wins the power play will win the game. For Chennai, it feels like if they can just find an opening partnership that sticks together, then things may turn around for them. But at the moment, they're throwing powder puffs.
Also, if this is a surface they want to play on, and this is a surface that has stood them in good stead over the years, then they can't allow the opposition to make 180. Then you're playing 160 games, and then this approach from CSK might come in handy, but you've got to be playing 160 games. You can't let the opposition make 183.
You know, we've spoken about how CSK didn't chase this down, but that reason also is because of the way Delhi bowled, and all credit to them, because sometimes what happens with star teams is we end up being so frustrated that they've not chased it down well, but we have to give credit where it's due, and Delhi did a really good job with their bowling today.
Even though they put down a couple of catches.
Yes.
There's one from Stubbs, which was an excellent catch, but he put down one. Kuldeep put down one.
One review which they missed, the mid-Stark of Vijay Shankar.
That's an interesting one, because Stark would be the best person to know if it hit the bat or the pad.
Well, he said, and this is where Perel was keeping at the time. Obviously, they changed the keepers halfway through, and he's like, no, bat first. And I said to the guys out the back, he's standing behind the guy. How does he know if it's bat first? So that's where your mid-wicket, your cover, your point fielders need to step up. So maybe they need to just figure out who are the players that you go to discuss whether you're going to go up for a review or not.
But that was a good first spell. Yes. I think the positive for them was a Stark first spell. He got a bit of swing. He might want to look at the batch of those cricket balls and try and find some more from that batch. So that was a plus for them. Little leggy Nigam. Little leggy has little inexperience. Vipraj Nigam, 4 overs, 2 for 27 was good. Kuldeep was very good till the last over, so that's working out well. Not always on that track you see Akshar Patel bowl only 1 over, but much like KKR the other day, where Rahane went in with the bowlers who were doing well. What Akshar has done here is he kept going with the bowlers who were doing well, even if it meant he wasn't bowling himself. Because the bowlers were winning him the matches, and he just kept going with those bowlers.
Well, this all happened because of someone who was very cool when Delhi were batting. That's KL Rahul, which is why he is our coolest performer, powered by Voltas FreshAir coolers. Powerful air throw, ultimate comfort. 77 of 51, Lisa, 3 sixes and 6 fours. Striked it well. And it just feels really good when, someone becomes a new parent and he comes out and gets these runs. It just feels that extra special. So today is that extra special knock for him.
Yeah. I wonder if he got to triple figures. We see all of the dads
Yes.
give it the old. I'm like, are you really getting up and doing that, please? You're all sleeping comfortably, and he looked fresh as a daisy. So he's sleeping.
Some people do. Oh. Okay, some people did. I know it's 100 years ago, but some people did. Not. Okay. Yeah.
No, as long as Rahul's looking fresh, it looks great for Delhi because he was hitting the ball really well today, Harsha. So whatever he's doing seems to be working.
Now, in retrospect, we talked about how he got only 18 of the last 13 balls or 16 of the last 13 balls. Maybe it was as the ball got older, it was getting difficult to play. So maybe there was a clue there in why the run chase would become difficult. But gee, batted well.
You've spoken about it when he strikes that.
Looks good.
Yeah, he looks so good when he strikes.
He makes batting very watchable. Doesn't matter where he is. Yeah. There's some players like
pleasant on the eye. Yeah.
Well, it's not just pleasant, it's very cool, which is why KL Rahul was our coolest performer, powered by Voltas FreshAir coolers, powerful air throw, ultimate comfort. Something which is very cool for Delhi is that they have won consecutive 3 games. We'll have a look at that points table. And the last time they did this was way back in 2009 when they won 3 consecutive games. They're up top there, Harsha, with a very positive net run rate.
This is such a nice table to see compared to all those other ones. This is a much better table.
You asked for it, didn't you?
That's okay. No, but that gives an added incentive to Punjab now because Punjab will want to go and catch up with Delhi on 3. But this is a great start for Delhi. They're doing something right.
Well, it's a great start for Delhi. It's been a great start for Punjab as well because they have won the toss. They will be bowling first. It hasn't been a great start for Harsha Bhogle. I had to
2
do
runs.
It. 2 runs twice.
It's always just 2 runs. It's always so near yet so far. So just imagine.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how close you missed it. You just missed it, mate.
So when that stops happening, it means there'll be a consistent streak. It's not like people missed by 20 runs or so in the first time.
I missed by 50, I missed
lost.
by 70. So
lost.
Yeah, it just says the L and the W. That's what matters on the points table, doesn't it?
Even the L and the S doesn't matter. Lisa and Sthalekar together also doesn't matter.
No, it matters to us here at Cricbuzz. Lisa, please go first.
The guess. Who's batting again?
Rajasthan
Royals.
batting.
They've just started. They've hit a 4.
Jaiswal.
I'm quickly looking at the pitch report.
Okay. I'm going to go 193 without looking at the pitch report, which...
Live grass. I'll tell you, live grass, not too much in the middle. Wicket will stay consistent, 40 over, 65 one side, 68 the other. Hard, surface hard, not changed much from last season. Go on. You want to change?
No.
I'm just being kind to...
No.
Harsha's a kind man, but she's sticking to her guns. 193 is what Lisa says.
Yeah, I am going 186.
I was going 188. Now I'll have to read.
Oh, then I might be in the game then, because you win everything. So.
Win everything? I've not heard that for 9 days. 188, 193.
I said 186.
193, 186.
You wanted to go 188.
I wanted to go 188.
Go 188.
No, it's not fair on him.
No, it's okay.
We don't rub him out. If he gets it, he gets it.
Okay, I'll go 188. I'll stick to what I wanted. Is that okay?
Because if they get 182, then I'm the only one who wins.
Okay, we'll wait and watch
It's a good thought.
If 182, it's again that 2 that's come into your life. Remember that.
182 means 188 loses and 186 wins.
Okay, we really do hope that Harsha Bhogle gets off the mark. We really do. Lisa is nodding because she doesn't want him to get off the mark. We'll see and give you all the updates at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you so much for watching. Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Hyderabad Punjab Express, Saiyami Station, Netaji Obot.